Puppy Dog Pals. Haunted Howl-oween. It's a windy Halloween morning, and Bob is decorating the house. Raleigh is already in his costume, but he can't find his brother. Bingo? Where are you? He calls out. Happy Halloween! Bingo shouts, jumping from behind a pile of pumpkins. You spooked me. Raleigh giggles. I'm a pumpkin. Get it? A puppy and a pumpkin, Raleigh says proudly. Rufus and Cupcake walk by. We have to stay away from the far end of the park tonight, Cupcake says loudly. Why? Bingo asks. Every Halloween, a spooky Wookiee ghost called the Haunted Howler haunts the far end of the park. He sounds like this. Howl. After Rufus and Cupcake leave, Raleigh turns to Bingo. I don't want to meet a howly ghost. Don't worry, Bingo says. There's no such thing as ghosts. Then the pups hear their neighbor Chloe. Ah, we'll never find it. Halloween is ruined, she says sadly. Bob and the pups check with Chloe, her mom, and her friend Steven to see what's wrong. We have a costume emergency, Chloe sighs. She explains that she made her own Halloween costume and hung it outside to dry, but the wind blew it away. I don't want to go trick-or-treating without my costume. Steven offers to share his costume, but Chloe says she wants to wear the one she made, because it's flowy and it glows in the dark. Flowy and glowy? That does sound like a cool costume. Bingo says. We're going on a special Halloween mission. Raleigh tells Bingo. Let's collar up. Luckily, the pups' high-tech collars fit over their costumes. Mission: find Chloe's Halloween costume. The pups start their search. I can't wait to find Chloe's costume, Bingo says. Raleigh stops. But she never said what she was going to be. Well, she said it was glowy and flowy, Bingo explains, so we'll look for something like that. Raleigh finds something glowy but not flowy, a jack-o'-lantern. He poses next to it. Look. I'm a Raleigh-o'-lantern. Over here. Bingo calls as he spots something flowy but not glowy. So, we are looking for something flow and glowy, Raleigh says. Just then, something flies by. Like that? Bingo and Raleigh chase the costume until it gets caught in a tree. How are we going to get it down? Raleigh wonders. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind blows the costume out of the tree and toward the park. The pups watch as the costume floats over the park wall toward the far end of the park. Bingo and Raleigh shout. The pups slowly walk into the park. As the sun sets, the park gets spookier and spookier. Owls hoot in the trees. Bats flutter in the sky. Suddenly, they hear a scary sound. Howl. Raleigh gulps. Is that the howly ghost? But it's something even scarier. Cupcake. I'm looking for Rufus, have you seen him? She asks. Nope. But we did hear the haunted howler. Raleigh says. There is no haunted howler, she tells them. I made up the story to scare you. Glad it worked, she adds with a smirk, then leaves to find Rufus. Well, we still need to find Chloe's costume, Bingo says. Let's go. But Raleigh has had enough spooky surprises for the night. Don't worry, Bingo tells him. As long as we're together, there's nothing to be afraid of. Raleigh takes a deep breath. Okay, let's do this. The pups continue walking through the park. Suddenly, Cupcake runs past them, screaming, the haunted howler is real. The puppies turn to see a flowy, glow creature running toward them. Wait a second, Raleigh says. That looks like Chloe's costume. He marches up to the haunted howler and pulls the costume off. I ain't afraid of no ghost costume. Underneath the flowy, glowy costume is Rufus. Just then, the pups hear kids calling, trick or treat. We better get this costume back to Chloe, fast. Bingo says. Rufus, will you give us a ride? Rufus nods, and the puppies jump onto his back. Rufus runs as fast as he can. They have almost made it to Chloe's house when another gust of wind blows the costume out of the pups' mouths. They watch it fly through the air, around a tree, and over a wall, where it lands. On Chloe's porch, right where she left it. My costume. It came back, she shouts. We couldn't have done it without you, Rufus, Raleigh says. Hi, Pa. Ding dong. Bob answers the door. Ooh-hoo, a cool robot and a spooky ghost. Guess what, Mr. Bob? It's me. Chloe says. My costume came back. Bingo and Raleigh smile at their friend. Mission accomplished.